Good morning, students. Let's begin with the second chapter of science. The name of the lesson is The Living World. There, there are many kinds of plants and animals around us. In the picture, trees, birds, dogs, chicks, human beings, stones, ball, kite, etc. are seen. Some of these things have life. For example, trees, birds, dogs, chicks, human beings. They have life and some don't. Stones, ball, kite, they do not have life. The things which have life are called living things or living organisms. Let us learn about the characteristics of living organisms. Growth, respiration, excretion, responsiveness to stimuli, reproduction, a definite lifespan, and a cellular structure are the characteristics of living things. Now let's go to the first characteristic, that is growth. All living things grow into adults in certain fixed period. Human babies require 18 to 21 years for complete physical growth. That means humans require 18 to 21 years to grow into adults. During the period of growth in animals or in human beings, they gain in height, weight and strength. Growth in animals occurs only for a certain period. Now let's see how does growth take place in plants. Now let's do one activity. Tie a thread to the tip of a potted sapling. Keep the thread stretched and tie it to a nail above the plant as shown in the figure. What do you observe after 10 to 15 days? We see that thread has become loose because of increase in height of the stem of a plant. What tells us that the plant has grown taller? The increase in width and height of the stem of a plant tells us that the plant has grown taller. In all plants, growth mainly occurs as increase in width and height of the stem. While growing, some plants develop branches while others do not. Growth in animals occurs only for a certain period, whereas in plants, growth occurs throughout their life. That means plants can grow as long as they live. The growth of living things occurs from within the body, which means that growth occurs in all parts of the body. You know that food is necessary for the growth. We get food from plants and animals. How does plant prepare their food? Plants make their own food in sunlight. Plants produce food from water, nutrients in the soil and the carbon dioxide present in the air. This process takes place in the leaves of plants. It is brought about in the presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll in the leaves. This process of food production is called photosynthesis. Now what is photosynthesis? So plants prepare their own food by using sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and nutrients from the soil and also using chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, it is a pigment that is present in the leaves of the plant. So using all these, plants prepare their own food. So this process is called photosynthesis. During this process, plants give out oxygen. Plants appear mainly green in color due to the chlorophyll in them. Why plants are green in color? Because of chlorophyll present in the leaves of the plant. How does animal prepare their food? Animals, however, do not have chlorophyll. Animals do not have chlorophyll, so they do not produce their own food. They search food. Animals such as goats, sheep, horses eat grass. That means they are plant eaters. They are called herbivorous animals. Some animals such as tigers and lions meet their need for food by hunting other animals which live on plants. That means some animals, for example tiger and lion, eat flesh of other animal. So they are called carnivorous animals. Some animals eat both the type of food. That means they eat plant and flesh of other animals. For example, human beings. So we eat plant, vegetables, and also flesh of other animals. So we are omnivorous animals. Now let's go to the next characteristic, that is respiration. All living things need oxygen for their survival. So without oxygen we cannot survive. Inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide is called respiration. Inhaling oxygen means we take in oxygen from the air into our body and give out carbon dioxide. This process is called respiration. Different animals have different organs for respiration. Animals like rat, cow, snake, and even human beings breathe through their nose. Fish respire by means of gills. So in the picture you can see. So fish respire through gills. Next, earthworm. So earthworm respire through the pores on the skin. Pores means what? Small holes. There are small holes on the skin of earthworm. So earthworm respire through pores on the skin. So on the other hand, plants respire by means of microscopic pores on their stems and leaves. So what are microscopic pores? Microscopic means tiny, very very small pores. Pores means what? Holes. So in the leaves of plant there are small holes. So plants respire through microscopic pores on their stems and leaves. Now let's go to the next characteristic, that is excretion. Can you recall, is all the food we eat used by the body? All the food that we eat is not used by the body. Some part which is not essential, not necessary, and some which is not digested is thrown out of the body. What is the unused part of food converted into? The unused food is converted into excreta. So unused means what? Undigested part of the food, that is converted into excreta. So then what is excretion? Waste substances are formed during the process of digestion that take place in the bodies of animals. These are called excreta. So excreta means that is during the process of digestion, so waste substances are formed. So these waste substances are called excreta. These substances have to be expelled or thrown out of the body. The process of passing out waste substances from the body is called excretion. So what is excretion? the process of passing out waste substances, that is undigested part of the food from the body, is called excretion. Animals have specific organs for excretion. Even plants also excrete. But how? Let's do one activity. Take a transparent plastic bag, tie it over a leaf of a plant as shown in the picture. Observe it after 6 to 7 hours. So what do you see inside the bag? Droplets of water collect on the inside of the bag. Inside the bag you can see droplets of water. So it means that plants excrete water in the form of water vapor. So plants, that water vapor is the what? It is a waste product of tree. So plants excrete water in the form of water vapor. So in plants, waste substances are stored in the leaves, which are then shed along with the leaves in a specific season. Students, sometime you might have seen a sticky substance on the stems of the coconut or cashew nut tree or drumstick trees. So what is the sticky substance seen in the stems of coconut or drumstick trees? Now you look at the picture, you can see sticky substance on the stems of a plant. So it is also a waste product of tree. So what is that sticky substances? You can see in the picture, correct? It is a waste product of tree. So it looks like a gum. Stems of plants like babul, neem secrete gum, which is actually waste material passed out by them. Since it is a unwanted substance for the plant, it is secreted out through the bark of the tree. Therefore, we came to know that plants also excrete in the form of water, vapor or gum. Let's go to the next characteristic, that is responsiveness to stimuli and movement. Students, have you experienced this? What happened immediately after the following actions? So I will give you some example. Light flashed suddenly into your eyes. Light means which is a torch light. So if it is flashed suddenly into your eyes, so what is your reaction? So what we will do? So immediately we may close our eyes, correct? The eyes are immediately shut, or we may instantly blink. Next, second one is suddenly you felt a pin prick. Pin prick means what? Prick caused by a pin, or when a needle pricks you. So what is your reaction? So we feel intense pain and thus we instantly withdraw our hand. Next, third one is the leaves of mimosa plant were touched. So in the picture you can see leaves of mimosa plant, you can see in the picture. So if you touch the leaves of mimosa plant, so what happens? The leaves of mimosa plants are folded at once upon touching. That means the leaves close up. When you touch the leaves of mimosa plant, the leaves close up. Then the next one is at sunset, lamps on the street or courtyard are lit. It means what? Lamps are turned on and insects gather around the lamps. If the lamps are switched off, what happens? Insects go away. So when you in the village also, so what happens if you switch during the sunset, if you switch on the light, so all the insects gather around the light. That means insects attract towards the light. If the lamps are switched off, insects go away. However, if the lamps are switched on, they are attracted towards the light and are seen gathering near the lamp. All the living things respond to the activity that occurs in their surroundings. This ability to respond to a stimulus is called responsiveness to stimuli. Here, stimulus means an event that occurs in our surroundings. For example, if the leaves of mimosa plant is touched, that touching is the stimulus. So what is the response? So response what? The leaves close up. So that is the response. Living things move of their own accord. Animals can move from one place to another. So all animals can move from one place to another. Even human beings can move from one place to another. But plants cannot move from one place to another. But they show movement. For example, a potted plant placed in a window. See the picture. It grows towards the sunlight. A potted plant placed in a window, it bends towards the sunlight. And also creeper plant. A creeper planted in the courtyard, it also bends towards the support. It means that plants also show movement, but it cannot move from one place to another. So plants too show movement. Okay. Then the next characteristic is reproduction. So that we are going to learn in the next class. Thank you.